Lee, is it time Arteta has to put a trophy in that cabinet this season?
Yes, he has to. I don't think there's any denying about that. I think that it's got to be a big one as well, like, you know. So, but yeah, I think that we're built for it. The squad's built for it now. There's no excuses. Yeah, I think it is. You know, I think he's aware of that as well. Like, you know what I mean. So, yeah, I think this is the time to deliver. It's going to be tough, you know what I mean, when you look at the teams you're up against. But yeah, I think that the time has come. The time has come.
In terms of preparation for the season, then, were you happy with how the summer transfer business went? You seem to, outside looking in, it looks like you've had a really strong window, actually.
Yeah, very strong. We've what's the word? Strengthened every area that needed to be strengthened. Like the centre forward, the squad depth. You know, when you look at it last season, Champions League 4, like young kids that are on there that have never played for Arsenal have all left now on the bench against PSG. Now you look at our bench, there's players like Wanyeri not getting on it. You know what I mean? So that just shows you what we've done. If you'd have said to me, we're signing 8 players, I would have laughed at you. Like, you know, it's never sort of thing to be done. But we've done it, and we bought some good players as well. You know, Mascara at the back looks a real good find. On top of that, like, you know, Zubamendi, obviously Gyökeres, and Madueke's done very well up until he got injured. So, yeah, like, you know, all round a very good summer, and you know, can't complain in any shape or form about it, really. Like, you know, if I have one complaint, it's probably we should have got Gyökeres over the line a little bit earlier. So, because I still think that he's not quite up and running to the way he should be as far as fitness is concerned. Certainly looked a lot better the last couple of games. So, yeah, I think all in all, from an Arsenal fan, I don't think you can complain in any shape or form.
Do you have a favourite summer signing?
Oh, I would probably say Eze would probably be the one. You know, I like Gyökeres, but with Eze, it was like the way it was. We got him as well, and I think that he just gives us that little bit of sprinkle dust, and I think that hopefully it'll elevate Odegaard's performances as well, where, you know, he's now got competition. So, yeah, I would say Eze. It was an exciting one as well, like, you know. So, they're all good signings, you know. There's some more exciting than others, but I think Eze one probably just nips it, I think.
Do you know, with Gyökeres, do you think, how confident are you he's the right striker? Because I think there was a lot of talk for, feels like quite a few years now, that Arteta needs his number 9, he needs his number 9. Even when Havertz was fit and playing, but then he got injured quite often as well. And you had Mourinho up front last season. So I feel like there's a lot of pressure on Arsenal to get in, not just a striker. They have to get the right striker for Arteta. And if you got it right, you could perhaps go on and win silverware. How confident are you that they've got the right striker for Arsenal and Arteta?
Oh, that's a great question. I don't know if he's the one that Arteta would prefer, but I think he's the one that could get us over the line. I know Havertz is a terrific forward, but he's not a goal scorer. I think that with Gyökeres, he's more of a goal scorer. Havertz is probably a little bit more footballing in him. But what I've seen in the last couple of games, even though he's not scored, his hold-up play has been really impressive. He's aggressive. I think that goals will come. It's funny, like, when he's scoring goals, everybody's criticising about his hold-up play and touch, and then when he ain't scoring goals, they're criticising his goals. So I think from the outside looking in, I think it's going to take a little bit of a time, but I do think if we are to win it at the end of the season or one of those big trophies, I think that you go, do you know what? It was that signing, not the Ezes and the Zubamendis, etc. They'll probably look at it and go, you know what I mean? That was the define. And I think it is. I still think it is. I think that it's the games like, no disrespect, West Ham, Everton, those tough teams that come in there and have taken points off us in the past, that we need to like have our chances and someone on the end of them, like, And listen, we played Olympiacos yesterday. We missed a few chances, so it's not all remedied yet. But I think that will. I think he will be a success, and I think that if we are to win it, it'll be down to whether he is a success or not.
As a neutral, I thought your last 2 league games have been quite pivotal. Coming back against Manchester City, who were hell for leather holding on to that win. I've never seen Pep Guardiola chuck on so many defensive players, and I was surprised at how Pep was acting in that game when you were trying to get that equaliser, but you got it. Then against Newcastle, can you break down a Newcastle side who have been keeping clean sheets this season? And Howe's got quite a good record over Arteta, and you did it. You went and beat them. That win at St James's Park felt like quite a statement win for me. I know it's so early on in the season, but it felt quite an important victory. Is it the same as an Arsenal fan? Did those results carry that much weight?
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, because it's been our Achilles heel over the last sort of couple of seasons. What hasn't got us over the line is teams defending deep and against it. When you think about it, Manchester City did defend deep, and in the end were lots of defenders, and we managed to break through. And Newcastle's a team that we've really struggled against to score, let alone win. You know what I mean? And it was all going that same way again. Decisions going against us, decisions that don't normally happen in football, as far as I'm concerned. And you're missing chances, and you're playing really, really well, but you're losing, and going to look like you're going to go and lose the game. To turn it around, I think was massive. It was a massive performance, and I think that even that, there's still things to work on. You could see that on Wednesday against Olympiacos, that we was getting the job done. You know what I mean? Listen, weren't easy, weren't pretty at times, but there was some good stuff as well. So I just think that we're just starting now to get a little bit of momentum. Tough 6-7 games to start off with, but we're in a good position now.
After 38 games, where do you think you'll be? I want the league crystal ball now, right? I want your prediction. Are you going to win? You keep speaking about the big ones. I'm assuming you're referring to the Premier League and the Champions League, and that's it. Will you win one of them? Will Arteta finally deliver one of those 2 trophies?
Yeah, do you know what I'm going to say now? I do think that we're equipped for the title. I do think that. I know it sounds silly. I think that we're more equipped for the Champions League because of the defensive side of things. We're very, very strong there. But in the cup competitions, it is a cup competition, and there's always that element of luck. And people keep asking me, like, what one would you prefer? I say any bloody one, like, you know what I mean? But if I was to, you was to put, people would be surprised. It's always a title for me, like, you know what I mean? I want that title because it shows you the best in the country. I think in Europe, not necessarily the best teams win in Europe, like, So that I think we're equipped, and I think we'll win the league this year. I think that, and you need a lot of luck in the Champions League, and we never seem to get that. Like, so I just think that I do think we're the strongest squad in the league. But it's the games like we've got our next 4 or 5 games, and this is no saying about other teams. We've got West Ham, Fulham, Crystal Palace, Burnley, Sunderland. If you're going to win the league, you've got to win all those games. You know what I mean? Like, not easy, not saying they are easy. They're going to be difficult, dogged sort of performances, but that's what we've got to do, like, and so with my crystal ball, like, let's say, yeah, come on, we're going to win. We're going to win. We're going to do it this year.
It's a bit of fun. I won't hold you to it. I think you'll win one of them. I think you'll win one of the trophies. You are the most impressive team for me so far this season. I know you're not top, Liverpool is, but their late goals, it just feels unsustainable. They don't feel like the same Liverpool's last season.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I've said in a couple of videos where I think this time last season, ARSWHU was very humble, very calm, and when he was getting interviewed, he was happy and he was talking tactics and stuff. he already looks a little bit rattled. I don't know if it's a pressure now that he's won it. Can you keep it? Or they spent so much money. Go on, man, make those big players perform. I don't know what it is. It just feels a little bit wobbly at Liverpool at present. And obviously Salah's not firing whatsoever yet. So that's, last season, take Salah out of Liverpool, they don't win the league as far as I'm concerned. So it opens it up. And I think Arteta might prefer the Premier League title over the Champions League as well. If he can sort of master against apprentice with Pep Guardiola at Man City, isn't it? So I think if he can win the title, I think that buys him years at Arsenal. Do you know what I mean? I think I don't think he'll get sacked, but I feel like pressure's got to be on to deliver silverware. But if you win that title, it answers a question. I remember speaking to a Newcastle fan after they got taken over with Eddie Howe, and the conversation changed season by season. I remember him saying to me, he's proven he can get us Champions League football. They went to the Carabao Cup final and got beat, but he said he's proven he can take us to Wembley. We didn't win it, but he's proven he can get us to the final. He just now needs to prove he can win a trophy. And they've done it now. So as far as he's concerned, Eddie Howe's proven he can bring what Newcastle fans want. And I think Arteta still has to do that at Arsenal, which is, can you win one of those trophies? And the answer is not yet. Whether he will or not, we'll wait and see. Right then, from your team to my team, please, Lee. What do you make of West Ham?
Oh, well, listen, I think you've done the right thing. You've done it. I was talking to my West Ham mates, West Ham Paul, and I was saying that if you want to stay in this league, you got to get a new manager. And the problem West Ham have got at this moment in time, it's not a give me where the three teams coming up are going to go straight back down. Like they're all putting in a real shift at this moment in time. So if you don't react and just think like, oh well, we're too good to go down scenario, it could end up in a problem. West Ham got some good players. You look at Bowen, you look at Paqueta, you look at they've got some good defend, like players in there. Kilman's not a bad player, they've got dangers in their side, and I think, if I'll be really honest, set up the way Nuno plays, I think it will suit West Ham and the style of players. Somerville, by the way, looked sharp the other night. And I think, where I've looked at West Ham in most games that I've seen, and I said to Paul, this, my West Ham mate, I said to him, you cannot lose five by 5 and then 3 against your fiercest rivals in the like Chelsea and so. You can't. It's not acceptable. It's not West Ham. Yes, lose. I get that, it can happen, but not get stuffed. Not continually getting stuffed at home, by the way, as well. Like Arsenal going there and getting 5, getting their 6. You know what I mean? That is not acceptable for West Ham. Now all of a sudden, I think that they'd be a little bit tougher to beat and everything. And when I've watched West Ham this season, I've thought, oh yeah. They're not in a relegation battle. They're going down. You know what I mean? It's not even a battle. But I see signs on the game against Everton on Monday, where I did watch the game. I felt that West Ham were the better team in the end. I thought West Ham deserved the point and perhaps could have gone and won it. I haven't said that about West Ham in any other game this season. Not one game. I didn't see the Nottingham Forest game when they won 3-0, but obviously there was lots of problems going on with Forest at the time, which we all know now, because funny enough that he's your manager now. So I think that there's definitely things to improve at West Ham. Very, very much. Got to sort their midfield out. 2 one-page, 2-dimensional. Got to get some legs in and around there, and I think they will do. And yeah, I think that I think West Ham now, if you'd have kept Potter, I think you'd have gone down. I'll be honest. I think now you've got a fighting chance, and I don't think it's going to be easy. I don't think it's going to be easy for anybody out down the bottom at this moment in time. And the trouble is, after 5-6 games, you shouldn't be thinking that. Yeah. But all of a sudden, it does sort of set in stone, after where you're going to be, where you're going to get the first win, where you're going to get the second one from, and all that. Good point at Everton. I don't care what anybody says. That was Monday night. They're full of confidence. You know what I mean? Grealish playing really, really well. I thought that you done a good job on him, kept him quiet. A few little fouls here and there from the right back Peters, weren't they? Like, you know what I mean, Walker Peters. But listen, they got it done. They got the job. You know, take that point. And West Ham got a difficult couple of games coming up. And you know, listen. From my point of view, you know, listen, I hope we win on Saturday, and then you go on and do well and stay in the Premier League. That's you know, I've got no qualms in saying that, and I think now you will.
I know you've said, you know, Nuno gives us a fighting chance of staying up and stuff. Do you think he was as good as we could have hired after sacking Graham Potter?
Oh, cool. You me some good questions here, like, you know what I mean? Like,
I do my best, Lee.
I think at the end of the day, I think Jose Mourinho would have been one that maybe I don't think that would have been a good fit though, if I'll be honest. Like, and I don't, and I always think with West Ham, I think no one's got a bad word to say about West Ham, probably apart from Millwall and Spurs, and that's for obvious reasons. So I don't really want to be disliked, do you? And I think if he would have gone there, that might have happened. So listen, if he can do the same job at what he's done at West Ham, what he's done with Nottingham Forest, I think you'll be delighted. So I think I actually said, like, you know, I mean, he's available, go and get him. Sack Potter and go and get Nuno. So I think you've done something that probably neutrals would think, and I've probably a lot of the West Ham fans, I don't know, you know that more than me, but I would imagine a lot of West Ham fans are quite happy with that, like, as well.
Yeah, I think we are. There's obviously some not too keen but that's more around style of play rather than think we're going to get relegated, if that makes sense, because his football perhaps isn't the best brand of football in the world, but I think most accept that we're not in a position to bring someone in to try and play free-flowing attacking football, and that we needed to get someone in to get results on the board and get results on the board bloody quickly because we were staring trouble in the face. Can I get your crystal ball out for a second time, but not the last time, Lee? Do you think we'll get relegated now?
No.
Be all right.
I think you'll be all right. I think I'm looking around. I still think, I know, I think Leeds and Sunderland, I know that they're going at the moment. They might be in there. I think Burnley, you know, are really working hard at this moment in time, but like they're down there, you know what I mean? Yeah. So where the other two at this moment are doing really well, but they've got a few points in the bag. So I still think that they're going to come into it, like, you know. I don't know what's going on at Wolves. I don't know what's going on there. But then you've got some big clubs in and around it. Newcastle, Man United. I think Brentford. Like, I think Brentford is. I know they got a great result against Man United. I don't know if West Ham would want that. I think that I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? I just feel like even Forest. I don't really know what's going on at Forest at this moment.
They're the hardest club to work out, I think, because you think surely they can't do what Spurs did, you know, surely Postecoglou can't repeat it again, which is sit in front of the relegation but do well in European football, but then maybe he can. However, I do think their owner would sack him if come Christmas time for us in the bottom three. I think they might have another.
Yeah, I just think like listen, I don't think it's going to be, you know, there ain't. I don't see a certainty, like, do you know what I mean?
No,
like, to me, like, put your mortgage on who's going to go down. You'd probably say Burnley, but you wouldn't be so keen on it. Like Wolves were, I thought they played really, really well against Spurs last week. Like, and the question is, can West Ham go and do those sort of performances? Can West Ham go to the Emirates and play like Wolves done and nearly nick a win out of it? Like, and that sort of win then can give you a big boost going forward. I think if Wolves would have won that game, that would have put them on a different light, you know what I mean? Because then you got a home game or whatever, and you go from there, like, you know. So I don't know how you feel like you don't want to be in the bottom three at any stage, you know what I mean? Yeah. Like, but I think even like international break, you don't want to keep looking at it for a week, 2 weeks, as you're in the bottom three, you're in the bottom three, and all of a sudden, like, it's in the head, like, you know.
It's the next international break for me because we play out yourself, then we've got the break. We come back, we've got Brentford at home, Newcastle away, Leeds away, Burnley at home. So we've got 3 teams in there that are probably expected to be in around the bottom 5 of the Premier League. So discarding Newcastle, I think that run of 4 games is going to be quite important to Nuno and us just going into the next international break. So I'm a little bit nervous. I'm not going to lie. How do you see Saturday going then, Lee?
I think it'd be tough. I think it'd be a difficult game, but I think that if we can break it down, I think that it might be 1-0 for a while and then like 2 late goals or something like that. I think that that's how I see it going. Like, you know what I mean? I think that you have to be working on set pieces and defending them at this moment in time. You're not very good at them, and we're very, very good. So if things are not going quite well, we can go on to that thing. But I just think Arsenal in a good moment and catching us a good time where confidence is high. Odegaard's just come back and played really, really well, and like you've got Eze, like who's we've got 2 players now that can open teams up and all that. So I think it'd be a tough 60, 70 minutes, but I think in the end, I think that we'll overpower you with our football and get the win.
So going for a 3-0, that your prediction?
Yeah, sorry.
That's all right. Don't apologise. All we want is honesty, Lee. If you think we're going to get beat 3-0, I mean, I dread to think what you just said if Potter was still here.
Well, no, do you know what? I honestly, I'd have been disappointed if we didn't put 5 past you, if I'll be honest, with him there. I just think that it was a shambles.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, you'd have played that midfield against us where it's got no legs in there and everything like that. We'd have just run around it, like, you know what I mean? So I know, like I'm saying 3-0, but I wouldn't, it could be 1-0. I do expect, like, for a majority of the game, West Ham to put in a really good shift and make it very, very hard. That's how I see it, like, but I just think that we're in a good moment at the moment. It's more on us than you, if I'll be honest.
Yeah, well, Lee, thank you very much. A pleasure as always. Look forward to catching up with you before the repeat game at the London Stadium, where you may be a little bit closer to the title, maybe top of the table, and hopefully we'll be out of the bottom 3 by then. But thank you very much. You guys at home have enjoyed it. Please do drop a like on the video by clicking thumbs up. Scouting Damage Chat, myself and Lee. Catch you in a bit.
Take care.